Shri Guru Charana Kamalebhyo Namaha. Parikshit Maharaj had asked Sri Shukadev Goswami to give explanation about the simile he had given about this world being dense forest and human beings in this planet being merchants. The allegory explained by Shukadev Goswami would not be understood by people in future thinking this. Parikshit Maharaj had asked, requested humbly to explain it more vividly and with easy words. Sri Shukadev Goswami heard the plea of King Parikshit and made him understand that people in general who take birth on earth desire to enjoy material pleasures. Thus they become governed by three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance, and do good, bad, and mixed deeds. If people are governed by goodness, they do good deeds. If they are governed by passion, they do mixed deeds, good and bad deeds. If they are governed by ignorance, they do bad deeds. Depends on class of people. Sometimes same person, if he's in goodness, does good. If his passion does mixed, sometimes he is in ignorance, does bad things like that. One person or other people, something. And due to their deeds, they take birth in many categories of species. There are 8,400,000 kinds of bodies in this creation, and person takes birth in them as per the deeds performed in previous life. The happiness and distress experienced in life is also due to previous deeds. There are two categories of miseries experienced by especially human beings. One is mental problems like craziness, madness, mental tension and anxieties, lamentation, like that. And then physical problems. They are experienced from Mother Nature, from other living entities, or from within the body, like experiencing fever or so. Also, as per their karma from previous life, they enjoy and suffer while existing. Sometimes people think they are not suffering, they are enjoying. No. Everybody, either poor or the richest person on this planet, everybody has some sort of unhappy days and unhappy times. That is called misery. As per their previous karma, they experience success and failure in their doings. Obstacles are also experienced during the lifetime. That is governed by previous karma. Even though so much experiences are there in life, still the person don't want to relinquish darkness of ignorance and stupidity and engage in the service of God by following the instructions of a pure spiritual master. It's very difficult to find a person who is interested to follow the instructions of their pure spiritual master and serve God. Such people are very difficult to find. Most of them, they are interested in material sense gratification. Thus, they are governed by three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Such people who are materially interested, they are facing 6 dacoits who loot their everything they have inside. 6 dacoits are 5 knowledge acquiring senses and the mind, which loot their theism and belief in God from their heart and mind, thus establishing the atheism inside, agnostic, non-believers. They deeply rooted inside the heart. That's why you see many people, most of the people everywhere on this planet Earth don't believe in God. Even though some of them look like they have become devotees, they really, heart of heart, they don't believe in God. If they believe in God, they don't insult other devotees who has dedicated his life in the preaching of God. These people who are materialistically inclined, they work very hard and accumulate money. As per the law of human life, law of human existence, human life is that 50%, 50% should go in the service of God. However much you earn, half of it goes to serve God, and half is for him or his family and future. But because they are agnostic and unbeliever, atheistic in their heart and mind, thus they use everything. Even the share of God, they use in the service of their family and themselves. They want to enjoy sense gratification, forgetting God. Aren't they atheistic? Aren't they unbelievers? Because of such situation of them, their intelligence works reverse. Intelligence is like a driver to this body like chariot. Because they're atheistic, that's why their intelligence is not working right. That's why they use all their earnings in taking care of their family and supplying sense gratification, pleasing items to their senses. Because because they use the share of God on themselves to satisfy their senses and their family, extended bodily relatives. They are like sunk in the quicksand of materialism. They thus being soiled eyes, they only desire to supply pleasing items to their senses. What will please them, their senses, they only accumulate those. They want to hear only material music. They only want to eat what will satisfy their tongue, feel pleased. Even unedibles, they will eat. And if they are vegetarian, they will eat food which is not offered to God. They will go seeing, sightseeing, have picnic, spend money. They will smell obnoxious things. They would like to smell. And use the intelligence to determining what items are good for them. And concluding that these things are good for them. Thus, being engaged in household affairs, they get looted by the 6 dacoits, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, and mind. Thus become eligible person to go to hell. Not only that, the family people, they function like jackals and foxes who make him spend money for their family affairs. Even though he is not desirous to spend all the money, the jackals, like family members, they will mesmerize him, and forgetting that he's overspending, he will spend it all, plus borrow. In this way, working in family life, their family members also function like wolves, like friends, wolves who take away the shepherds, who seeks, snatch away everything what he has. In this way, the household life is the box or storehouse of expectations and desires to enjoy. They sprout every day new to enjoy, every day new items to enjoy, and every day something new to do to enjoy. Just like unwanted seeds in agricultural field. Even though agricultural field is sometimes plowed many times in a year, still the unwanted seeds, they sprout up, grow. Until the unwanted seeds are burnt, they will carry on growing. Does not matter how many times you plow in a year. Similarly, the unwanted desires within, they will carry on growing until you take shelter sincerely at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Then only karmic reactions turn into ashes. Karmani nirdahati kintu jo bhakti bhajam. Bhakti bhaja means becoming a sincere devotee, not a showboat. That is not wanted. Even though experiencing so many troubles in life, still he engages in eating, drinking, womanizing, family marrying, family making, and all those items, and many other unwanted habits. cannot mention how many bad habits one can have. Thus, becomes convinced that material happiness is everything in life. Yavat jivet sukham jivet. This happiness is everything. Even though so many miseries are there. That's why very difficult to overcome Maya. Lord Kṛṣṇa says in the Bhagavad Gita, Devi hesham gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mama eva e prapadyante maya imetam tarantite. Very difficult to overcome this Maya, stringent laws of Maya. This material nature is governed by three modes. Only when one becomes sincere devotees, they can easily cross over this material existence. It becomes easy for them. How to become devotee? Now, one must first take shelter of a real devotee, pure devotee, spiritual master, and work under his direction. So, whatever you do as devotional service to please God can reap results for you. But because he's habituated for material pleasures, thus becomes very lusty. In Sanskrit, it's called kamanda. Becomes very infatuated by lust. He only wants to enjoy a woman. Because I'm a man, I'm talking about women. But same is for women. Wants to enjoy men. So they become lusty, overly lusty. Thus, being embraced by the soft arm of a woman, he forgets this world and goes beyond the limits explained by the scriptures and saintly people. Goes beyond the limits. And thus his eyes become anointed by the dust of passion. Thus he cannot see what is reality, and even forgets that there is some superpower, some demigods who are watching his acts, deeds, and all his behaviors. He don't even care. I don't care. I don't care. That is the sound coming from a rascal. I care. Yes, I care. It's coming from a gentleman. Yes, I care about my future. I care what will happen to me. I care. See, there are two kinds. Dobhu the sargo lokeshmin deva asura evacha. There are two categories. I don't care and I care. Demigodic, divine nature fellow. A demonic, bad fellow. I don't care. See. Sometimes he faces demons, but you call it enemies. They are like ferocious sounds of owl. They come, the enemies, and they scare him with their behaviors and their words. Sometimes he gets tortured, tormented by government agents who come to take his taxes, their taxes. Sometimes you don't pay tax, so they accumulate. And with the interest, government comes, takes what is supposed to be taken with interest. So he suffers. This fellow only thinks materially, therefore he saves money for future. Just see how material world works. He stashes, saves money, not eating, not taking care sufficiently. So he takes out a little bit here. Instead of eating 2 pieces of fruit, he will eat 1 piece and save money. Like that, saves money. While alive, he cannot use that money because he thinks for future. And after his death, that money is not used for him. So see, in his name, I remember I asked the son of a rich man, your father left you so much. Why you don't give part of the money he left for you and use it in the service of God? No, I have to buy house, I have to buy my business, I was having trouble, I got to use all the money, see? Just imagine, you were born with nothing, now you have so much. Because the guy who worked, he did save money. You're supposed to give at least some portion of it. 50%, if not 70%, give 50%, 25%, something you give it to God in His name. Because people don't believe in remembering those who are dead. They only believe in those who are alive. They take care of them. They don't take care of the dead, even though they lived so much. So, saving is good. Apadarthe dhanam rakhet, daran rakhet dhanerapi, atmanam sattam rakhet darerapi dhanerapi. The Shastras are very clear because they are only interested in sense gratification. Their intelligence is stolen, robbed by 6 dacoits. They cannot think right. While alive, the money did not come to benefit him, and while after death, money did not come to benefit him. Somebody else is enjoying that money, committing more sins with using that money. Therefore, you suffer in hell because your money is used for sinning. Therefore, you saved money for sinning. You got suffer extra. Sometimes such class of people want to have extra fun. See? They want to have, because they got habituated. They want to enjoy extra. Because sometimes this much dose you take for 5 years, this much dose is not sufficient, you have to take that much dose. So he wants to enjoy extra marital affair. And he goes to some other woman. So the family members of that woman, relatives of that woman, come harass you. Or put a court case. Constables will come, arrest you. Sometimes he wants to enjoy more. Because their money earning is not enough to enjoy more. Because you enjoy sense gratification more and more, the blazing fire increases as you supply fuel to it. Similarly, you supply bad habits. Then slowly it increases, so you want more pleasure. So you loot somebody financially. You cheat somebody. They call, hello, police will come, and you got arrested, go to jail. After experiencing problems in this life, he goes to hell to suffer there. Always suffering is there for materially interested people. If you borrowed from somebody something and he did not return, you become well known as a cheater. Dishonest. Everybody thinks this guy is dishonest, and they might talk bad about you. This man is dishonest. This is a cheater, bluffer. He is not a gentleman. Like Duryodhana telling Yudhishthira, he's thinks Dharma, he's following rules, he's a saintly person, he's a devotee, just hoax. Duryodhana is telling Yudhishthira, most pious personality on the planet, telling him it's a hoax. I am great, he says. This is materialistic. Sometimes his friends or relatives die. He laments for them. And because he saw somebody dying, he thinks, oh, I will also be dead. Because so many people are dying. All his family members are dying. Relatives are dying. Neighbors are dying. I will also die. So he becomes very much in anxiety and suffers within. Outside they show smiling face, but inside they really miserable. Even though God supplies them so many miseries, still their intelligence don't think, I must come out from misery, take to spiritual life. Spiritual life is only remedy to remove miseries. Cannot understand this because their intelligence is stolen by Maya, illusory potency of God. Thus, experience remains in the cycle of birth and death, experiencing so many miseries. Time and tide wait for no one. Therefore, he grows up to become old man and thus die. Such people don't care that somebody, superpower, the force, the demigods are watching his deeds and his behaviors. He don't care. He don't care. Sometimes somebody guides him or he thinks himself, okay, I got to get some mercy. Well, I'm having too much trouble. So goes to some demigods asking for help. They don't help because he's not pure enough to send his prayers to them. And sometimes he goes to the hoax Brahmins who don't live as per Brahminical rule. At least they drink tea, coffee, onions and garlic. They eat vegetarian Brahmins. Not all of them. Many of them. And he goes there to get help. Or he goes to showboat fake devotees. Gets help from them. They cannot help themselves. How can they help you? Fake means God don't bless them. So he goes and later on finds out, oh, these are all proud. These are just cheat. The Brahmins are cheat. These showboat sadhus, they are cheat. So he feels misery inside. And thus comes back to his family again and thinks everything is in the family. Works hard, maintains them, and whole his life spends taking care of his family and copulation, sense gratification. That is it, nothing else. Thus, after death, goes to hell, suffers there. Such class of people cannot entertain real devotees because they have bad experience from fake devotees. They think real is also fake. They are not lucky. So real devotees don't come to such people. So they remain bereft of associating with the real devotees, getting some blessings. So why we should remain as materialistic, not take to spiritual life? What is wrong with us? What is wrong with you? Take it. It's better. Okay. Somehow you did some good job, some religious deed. So you escaped going to hell. You went to heaven. All right. You went to heaven. But in heaven, your birth and death and old age, disease exist. 4 things. Jana, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. Because heaven is also within this universe. And this whole universe is equipped with 4 things: birth, death, old age, and disease. Doesn't matter where you go. Within this universe. So within this covering, heaven is there. You go to heaven, you think, oh, heaven is everything. That's why no religion of this planet can talk more than heaven. because they are within this universe. Only spiritual life is only remedy which goes above this universe and talk about the spiritual world. So, after enjoying there, he returns and takes birth on earth and experiences again whatever remaining karmas are there. See? And then dies again and goes to hell or heaven again and come back again and suffer here again. That cycle remains. So Sukadeva Goswami says, better to be devotee, become a devotee and become free from all these problems. Best is to be devotee. Let's become devotee. What is the problem? Let's be real devotees. Why fake? Fake can reap nothing. Control your mind. Give the rein of horse-like mind to Guru. He will control. You cannot control yourself. So Sukadeva Goswami says, devotion of Bharat Maharaj was unmatchable. Nobody can compete. Nobody could compete with this devotion. Like fly cannot compete, Garuda or the carrier of Lord Vishnu, big bird, cannot compete. Fly cannot compete. Similarly, nobody could compete his devotion. He, means Bharat Maharaj, used his human form of life to please God. Let us use this human form to please God. We will be successful. The goal of human life is to become devotee of God and please God. After death, go back to Godhead and live there in the spiritual world. Thank you very much.